I'm live. The Monday. Oh joy. But it's a Monday, so Satisfactory, anyone? I mean, I say Satisfactory, but as time goes on, I'm losing ambition more and more. Losing motivation, really. More and more to continue playing this save file, and I'm wondering how am I actually going to complete this by the end of the year like I wanted to. Oh boy. I probably bit off more than I can chew with that project part factory, honestly. Probably. But I've already redone the desert, so I have the space for it. I don't know. Either way, we're not going to worry about that tonight. Instead, what we're going to worry about is that stupid nuclear setup. Because why not? Because why not? Oh, okay. Yeah, this nuclear setup though is not a simple setup because of course it's not. Why would it be a simple setup? Nothing is simple. Nothing is ever simple. Self-inflicted, admittedly, but still. So, yeah, it's a complex setup. There's a lot of ore involved, there's a lot of crafting involved. We're not going to get nuclear going today, of course. Not a chance. But we should at least get some of the initial ore processing done. Because, well, if we don't, then it's never going to get done at this rate. Oh god, this is just such a mess of crafting. Fucking recycled plastic, recycled rubber crafting loop. Hmm. Anyway, I'm just thinking about things potentially, but let's not worry about that right now. So, yeah, this is gonna be fun. So shall we just get into the suffering? I think we shall. I will say, I have finally updated Satisfactory. Turns out, so in the Discord for the mod manager and modding in general, I guess, for Satisfactory, in there, they made a post when 1005 dropped that said that they'll send another message to let everyone know what the situation is. They never sent another message. Instead, what they did was they edited the previous message the next day. And of course, I didn't bother to actually check that because I was waiting for another message. So, oops, turns out I could have updated. Well, I wouldn't have wanted to update until 1006 because of the dupe bug. That's the guy with 1200 extra summer sloop. I wouldn't have wanted to update until they fixed, there's the game audio, the dupe bug, but either way, things are working. You can see there's a lot of incompatibility there, or warnings, not incompatibility, because old version. Things have changed since then. It's mod related, actually, but still. You guys are being quite loud, aren't you? Immediately. Speaking of being loud, you. So, yeah, I've honestly been considering just nabbing some neural quantum processors just to get this over and done with, because that's a free achievement right there. And then this over here, what was this? Singularity cells, and, well, that's nuclear, and that requires power shards, and that requires power shards, which wouldn't be the end of the world, I guess. Some things have changed, though, since I was last on. You can see this continues to go up, and if you're wondering what all the noise is, it's the belt. Remember, it's a force field, it's not a physical belt, which is how it can transport 1,200 items a minute. Force field. Or something like that. But yeah, if we go over here, something that has changed since the last time. Where are we going? Where are we going? Those both are unset. It was the motor factory. On a belt. Since the last time, I've expanded my power not storage, but power stuff. So that's 600 compacted coal per minute going this way. And it seems to be running perfectly fine. So that's the compacted coal from the factory over there, that, well, the bit behind the big building that hiding. But yeah, you really don't have to go too high up into the sky to see over that ledge and see it, such as the height of it. But yeah, the compacted coal from the rocket fuel setup, I'm finally burning all that, so that adds a fair amount of power. But more importantly, I got another set of rocket fuel gens on, another 57. So yeah, we're up to 200,000 megawatts, more or less. Not bad. Previously I was at around 130,000. 35, 36 I think it was. So roughly another 65,000 megawatts of power gen from the compacted coal and 57 more rocket fuel gens. Not bad. Hello. But yeah, the swamp missed last week. Well, don't go into the gas, you idiot. Swamp is where we'll be doing nuclear, because where else am I supposed to do it? Of course I'm doing it here. I'm not doing a lot of nuclear power. I don't want to do a lot of nuclear power. I shouldn't have made this all 4-meter foundation, but I did. Really? Whoops. No. Go that way and then go back that way until it works. I guess I don't have my inventory on me. Anyway, just watch the concrete count when I place this. Goes up kind of quick now. One of the things I did last week was I ended up almost full already. It was already full by the time I clicked that. I ended up don't have any explosives on me. I ended up setting up more concrete production. That much should be obvious. Turns out, in the northwest corner of the map, on top of there being a fair amount of coal, there's also a fair amount of limestone. 3 nodes, one of which is hidden, because of course it is. We got 12 left. Neat. Also, give... we're back here. Things. But yeah, it's right up here. There's, I think, 1, 2, 3 limestone nodes, and then there's 3 quartz nodes down in the cave that runs along here, roughly. And, well, it turns out, I was going to go up here because there's ample water around. Turns out that fine concrete, which uses silica, is actually slightly better than wet concrete. So I just tapped into the normal node, leaving the 2 pure nodes that I'll probably never use alone. brought that out, crafted silica, combined the two, and I'm making, what was it, 3,000 concrete per minute? On top of the many that I was already making. Many hundred. Hey, you guys sure are loud, aren't you? There's totally a cave right here. Isn't there? 100%. Where is that water even falling from? I'll take another 12 power shards. Why not? You know? Anything else back here besides mycelia? Not seeing anything. Crevice. Yeah, you're one of the nice ones here, aren't you? Sarcasm, of course. Exact opposite of nice. Alright. Always cool finding little things like that that you never knew about. Because, of course, who actually willingly explores the swamp? And just like that, the meowing has stopped. Yeah, I have ample concrete generation now. And I'm uploading at stupidly high rates because why wouldn't I? And so as a result, oh, you already saw that refills in an instant. I've got 1,500 more now because of that. Alright, well, we've got concrete and iron here. Let me find that over here. Sam, quartz, there's copper. Uranium I don't care about for the moment. That's nitrogen. Boy, this is lagging. I can tell the game's doing a fair amount. Oh, is the game... What's the game set to? 120. Yeah, let's not run it at 120. It's not getting 120 FPS, but let's not even target 120 FPS. Let's target 90. And use that because it doesn't pause. It doesn't throw the pause screen up even if the game doesn't actually pause. So iron I'm making 800 per minute, which is going to require 12.5 refineries worth. God, this lagginess is horrible. Limestone, on the other hand, I only need 4.1 refineries for. Bauxite is doing multiple things, of course it is. Why wouldn't it be annoying like that? So that's our nitrogen right there. But then limestone and iron. Copper, I think, is that way. Down behind. Not literally down. Well, down a bit. Yeah, so let's do the limestone first, because that's just 4 refineries. To the point where I can literally just, like, steam sheets. Sure. Right about there? I don't have things for every single item in the game, of course. So. Take this, set it to wet concrete. They're all configured correctly. Wonderful. I think I'm going to set this one to be the overclocked one, so give me some power shards. And... yeah. Just a 10% overclock. Not much. Mark II, Mark II, Mark III. I'm honestly probably just going to not do my normal thing of tearing down the belts. The inputs can be tiered down to what they need to be, but... Actually, on that note... Yeah, I'll do it anyway. Just leave that like that. And that should be the concrete. I am going to, however, delete all this just because I don't know what I'm going to do with it yet. I just want to get the initial production set up. That's going to need over 400 water, huh? Alright. Let's see, the iron is split two ways. There's 360 some going to a converter. I don't care about right now. The majority of it, though, is going to 12.5 refineries. So if I go to... Here, copper refineries. It's effectively the same thing as that blueprint. It's just slightly different is all. Slightly different in that it's a different base crafting recipe, which is going to need to be updated regardless. No point to actually doing it one way or another, honestly. I'm sure that's really fun to watch on stream. Apologies, but... Well, I'd say it's the most effective way to do it, but clearly it didn't work that well. Let me go down over here. So you are going to be pure iron. There we go. And then because I don't feel like overclocking one, I'm going to underclock one. Which here, instead of using this, I can use this. That's 439. That's once again a Mark IV belt on all of them. Yeah, the game stutters a fair bit now whenever I do anything. Only 35 per minute, so they can all accept one. There. You need to be pure iron downclocked to 55.5%. Easy. $20 water. Okay, so that's easily 250. Hey, Geeson. Unfortunately, I think that's where that statement ends, because that's 250, but then this is 410. That does not work into one pipe. Game. Nope. And are you gonna... No. Maybe? Like that? I'm honestly surprised it's still letting me place it. Yeah, looks good to me. Do that, and then what I can do is this, because even if they're supposedly fixed, I still don't trust them. Aesthetically, it looks like it's going to the floor hole. In reality, it's not. So no problems. In theory. That is not correct. Not right, not correct, is it? There we go. So then they can go off over that away to the water, I guess. Or down to here somewhere, I don't know. I could probably actually route them both, like, straight down, assuming that these want to work. Yeah. It's not great. Probably just be better to, or easier at the very least, to set them up over here. I'm gonna need more for the copper as well. Where was the iron? Right there? Okay, cool. Deuterium over there, not that I'm using any. Yeah, right there is fine. That thing's operating when it doesn't need to. I'm not going to turn it off, because then I'll forget to turn it on and wonder why the nitrogen isn't flowing. So, don't want to do that. $802 per minute, huh? Oh, right. There. There we go. So that will just basically come up over to here. I've got an idea for how I want to do this as well. This one, on the other hand, where is limestone? There it is. 492. Of course. $102.5%. Give me a break. Also, I want to more properly align that. Like, yeah, that'll do. Again, do that. 492, and we're good. Also, yeah, there's a waterfall right there, and down there is wrong button. Well, it looks like water, but that's interesting. Let me put it this way. Is that floating? You don't want to fall. Put that away. You don't want to fall down there. Also, there's falls all along there. Yeah, you don't want to fall down there. Not at all. You'd never really know that the falls wrap all the way around, would you? Because you just can't see it. Not without mods. Okay, so that is not a belt. 492 also is just over the limit of a Mark IV belt. Of course it is. somewhere vaguely around there, I guess, and then, yeah, sure, why not? And then I can just run this along here. Till I get over this way, and then I can decide from there where to go with it. Meanwhile, this one, you are 800 something, so you are going to need to be a Mark 6 lift. One drive home, Geeson. Oh boy. That's always a good sign. I think right about there will do. How's that look? Decent enough. How do I want to do this? Do I literally just want to, It's 3 off. Something like that, and then bump it down to the right level, in theory. And do that. And then hopefully I can just not pipe it straight in because it's too long. Fair enough. That goes in there. That, of course, doesn't work. Because why would it? Actually, I could do that with it. I wonder if that would make it work. Let me try that. Much better. Still not perfectly aligned, but that's alright. And this can literally come along here. Shift it up to the upper level immediately, and then bring it down this way. Drop in temperature followed by snow. Oh, fun. I can't see any potential issues with that sort of thing happening. Absolutely not. Good enough. The roads are still... Oh no. We in the hour? I don't like streaming when the game is at night. Makes it harder for me to see, makes it even harder for you guys to see, so... Give me a break. That one doesn't do it. What is your problem? This worked over here. Further back is why. Annoying. Yeah, that definitely sounds like a time and a half, Keeson. Sounds like you got back home at least safely. That's good, but yeah. Not ideal. Nerve-wracking, I can imagine, yeah. We've not had any snow here quite yet, so we've not had that problem. Yeah, having driven in the snow a fair bit over the years. Gotta be careful. Combine snow with leaves on the road as well. Any amount of wetness with the leaves. Not great. Actually, I want that to be a smart splitter. Ooh, could I... Oh, I did not want to build that much. Break. Can I do this? Damn. Right there, maybe? Nice. Can get rid of that, and then what I can do... I can build one of these counter limiters. Where would it be in alignment? Right there. Vaguely. Aurora's warp effect at 20 miles an hour. Oh, excellent. Yeah, I haven't been in that sort of snow in a long time at this point, but it's always a joy. 363, huh? Yeah, that would be a Mark IV conveyor and Mark IV belt again. Give me a break, game! That one. Didn't take my click because of the autosave. I'm in default. So this one's gonna need 363.333 iron a minute. Yeah, that's fine. Default that way, overflow that way. That's just gonna ensure that the split is what it needs to be because I need iron to go over and make sulfur. That should just work. I should also probably run power at some point. But, you know, minor thing. Hear me out. Run it to there for the moment, but Really what I want is that. Of course, this one doesn't actually let you move it like that, so you have to get tricky with it in order to get that aligned properly on the corner. Or, you know, just don't place it on the corner like I did. That also works. There we go. That's hooked up over there. That can go up front to connect with those. And then this. Can probably... something like that. I should just set this to be Mark II pipeline because it's gonna need to be. Versus this one does not actually need to be. Not there. There. Yeah. Just like that. And again, I can do the trick with the floor hole to make it look like it's actually in a floor hole when it's not. Because, again, they should be fixed, I just don't trust them. Bring these two over here, and then just down we go. Darn. Not just such a great thing. Alright. I'm gonna need a fair amount of head lift to get up here, but I do want to try something that I've seen before. How do I want to do this? Pure iron is going to require 251.1 iron a minute. If I just go with 2 things, I can get it with a small overclock, or I can just do 1 with a larger over. Honestly, I think just do 2 with 1 of them being overclocked. So like this, but this, because I can. Give it a little bit of space to make sure the pipe can actually go up the way it needs to. Of course, resource not deep enough. And then that's probably going to be 2 as well, just overclocked more. But for both of them, probably. Turns out I actually did the length of this perfectly. That is not aligned. I should probably make that one a Mark 1, but never mind that. D2 is greater than 251.1. For wet concrete, though, I need 410 water per minute, so... Whoops. Ah, damn it. Just like that. Such wonderful sounds in the swamp. Right along the edge there, and then this can run over this way. There. Connect into there. Alright. Now, I did say I want to test something. I'm just gonna run that like that. And now everything should be online. Oh, not those. But the miners and the pumps should be online. And the thing I want to test is the pumps, because the miners are just going to work. Yep, I expect that to be like that, because it's only feeding so much per minute that way, which in reality it's going to feed less than that slightly. It's not going to be the full 480 that it can accept, but that's where it's at right now. There's limestone, and it's already backstuffed. Fluids, meanwhile, are probably just about done doing what they can. Of course, the head lift means that they will never get this high. The thing that I have seen, and I'm not sure that this actually works, but that's why I want to test it, is that in theory, if I put a pipeline junction here, built a pipe out I'm misaligned, is why. Give me the bloody pump. Got a pipeline pump Mark II right there. Deleting that. And then just... It wasn't actually aligned, but it was aligned. And then do that. Don't know that that works. I don't know how it would work, honestly. Because the pump can't do anything so long as there's no water there. But why would this work? But I've seen somebody on Reddit supposedly post that. something like that should work. The pipe on the back is just me experimenting. It's not actually... Oh, you're giving me... Give me a break. What if I do this? What if I add water to the mix so that it's actually hitting the pump? So now it's approaching that 300 per minute. Now what if I was to remove this? Now that there's water up there, does that work? Seemingly, yes. Seemingly, it does work. It's not providing much head lift, but it's clearly still flowing at the full 300, despite there being no pumps down there to get it up this section. That actually does work. Oh my god, that's kind of dumb. I'm gonna abuse it. It requires priming, but that's okay. Not perfectly aligned, I don't care. So that one's not going to do anything to start. Instead, what I have to do is make sure that's facing the right way, prime the pipe, and this will still get 300 meters a second of flow. That is so dumb. It's primed and delete. Okay, it might have needed a bit more time. Because it seems like that's not quite enough. Okay, now if I remove it. Maybe. That's so silly. That shouldn't work, but it does. Because physics. So again, I have no pipes, or no pumps in line, and yet I'm still getting a full 600 cubic meters a minute. Going up, I mean, yes, it dropped there briefly, but trust me, it's just bouncing around, basically. These two pumps are the only things on these lines, and yet it can take the water from down there and put it up there, so why is it primed ahead of time? And now it's not doing anything because all the pipes are full. Okay. It makes sense because the way that the game works, right? This is adding head lift from here. But relative to this, there's all of this head lift produced from dropping down there. So this is being added in from here So as long as there's water connecting it from the bottom of the pump's head lift to this pump, it's going to flow up. And I've got another 50 meters on both pipes from this point. Despite not actually having technically any head lift going from basically that junction up to there. There was no true head lift covering that section, but because of the water physics, this works. That is so dumb. I'm not changing it. I'm leaving it like that, because that's... If it stops working at some point because they fix that bug, so be it. That is funny. Alright, and now to fix that, I just need to delete that. Technically, I could leave that plugged in and everything, but... Nah. I'm good. Where does this wet concrete even go to, by the way? Split between encased plutonium cell and singularity cell. So I don't need that for a while. Meanwhile, the iron goes 3 ways. Some of it makes iron pipes, some of it makes iron wire, and some of it makes solid steel ingots with coal. Where am I getting coal from? Was that one of the belts that I had over here somewhere? It's been a week since I dealt with any of this shit, so I don't remember what's what. I don't think I had anything coming in over there. It was just over here with this power line. Be a slug. Bauxite right there. There's quartz from there. Where was the coal? I remember something with the coal last week. Look at the interactive I have. Did I not set up anything for coal yet? There's plenty of it around. Well, that's honestly good because I can harvest coal from, say, is it down below or up above? I don't know. Not you. Can't see anything. I pressed the wrong button again. There's a SAM node. Means I'm too far this way. Plug. Autosave again. It is time for another break. Another break. First break of the night. Well, there's a coal node there, if nothing else. Not exactly in an ideal place. The lowest of these coal nodes, because there's one there. 97, 95, 60, 102, 104, 94. I only need 200 some coal, so a 200% overclock on one of those impure nodes is going to be plenty. I say that was the nitrogen over there? That's not the nitrogen. I was going to use this nitrogen. But I got distracted by all the things. Yes, hi, you're there. Because in theory, somewhere around here, it's very dark now. Okay, we're unhappy. Somewhere there should be a coal node relatively close. I don't know where. There's just so many slugs everywhere. Not at risk of running out of power shards as long as I just keep harvesting them. In theory. Alright. Game saved. Frame rate capped. And AFK scene chosen. Alright, like the bot said, it's time for a break. Just gonna take a few minutes to stand up, stretch, and get away from the computer for a little bit. During this time, I am going to run some ads. It's the only time during the stream that I run ads besides the very beginning and end of the stream. And by running ads now, it does mean that you'll have to put up with a little bit of annoyance if you're not a subscriber or a turbo sub, but it means that anybody coming in the next hour won't see pre-roll ads, which, considering the bump to 45 seconds seemingly not going away, still getting that on my end. Yeah. But just think of it this way, the ads will be over before I come back, and so you won't actually have to miss any of the important part of the stream, just the part where nothing is happening anyway. Which I think is fair enough. Anyway, when I do come back, we'll continue doing next to nothing for this factory. I don't know. It's not going very fast, is it? I might have to take a break from Satisfactory sooner than not, honestly. It might be better for me to just put it down for a little while and come back to it in the new year. Even though I'm going to be even more so like, what in the hell was I doing? At least a little bit of a break might keep me motivated to do things, you know? But for tonight, we'll carry on for at least another hour. Probably spend the last hour of the stream checking out my update 8 save. Anyway, like I said, time for a break, so BRB. Alrighty, I am back, and yeah, let's just get back into it. Trying to think, before we get back into it, is there anything I need to say? Nope. Nothing really nothing extra that needs to be said. Also, Google Fog. Yeah, I'm leaving fog on even though I could turn it off. If you don't like that, then too bad, I guess. Let's see, where is copper? Nitrogen, and copper. 634 per minute, heading off towards 42 refineries, of course. Might as well do them over here. That's an iron node. Probably delete that pillar. Like something glowing somewhere, maybe? I don't know. The point is, there's a copper node right here. Here, a copper node, also a slug. How am I not in range of that? Wasn't far off. Also, you guys spawned in late, didn't you? Game. There's no longer a slug there. You can stop doing that. Anyway. So, Miner Mark III, as usual. I love that I can just place those without worrying at all about the items for it. We're at that stage in the game after all. I need 778 per minute. Which is literally just under the 780. It is not a belt. The 780 limit. Watch this. Just do that. Why not? And yeah, you know what? You can go down to ground level. Sure. Why not? Clear up some of the shrubbery around here, mostly that tree. And then... Good enough. Yeah, it's Mark 5, I already said that. Oops. Well, I don't know where I'm going to put the converters that I get Caterium from. I don't need to convert anything, but this is insisting on using SAM for converting stuff. And I mean, I need 115 Caterium ore. I could just forego that and just mine the Caterium ore directly. It doesn't matter. I'm just gonna run the entire belt over towards the miners. The refineries that are over that way, just slowly but surely traveling along here. Eventually I'll get to that back edge though, and there'll need to be a corner made, but that's to be expected, actually. Hey, you guys are loud down there, aren't you? I think it was the roof supports that I've had issues with nudging them before. Like, they didn't like to be nudged. I'm gonna leave it there for now, and instead, let's start working on the actual refinery array. So, pure copper refinery left. I want the right one in this instance. Something like that. Then I'm going to want to do that like this. Whoops. This, 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 and this. And then instead of using the same set of inputs for all of them, I'm just going to, not you. I'm just going to do it this way. Not that close together. Missing steel pipe? Not anymore. There we go. So that's 40. I need 42.281 refineries. Which is to say, 1, 2. I'm gonna leave these like this because I don't know how I'm gonna route the water in here. I mean, probably from the back. But I mean, if these things require too much water. 422, I could totally just do this. Whoops. Go. That's 15 per, huh? 3 to 15. So mark 4 belts again. This is gonna get laggy. Yeah, performance definitely struggling more at this point in the game. Autosave lag. Eats inputs. How do I want to do this? just use that as an indicator for where to stop on this. Huh? What the hell was going on there? Okay. I think if I do it right there... It's 134, so it's going to be a Mark V belt all the way to here regardless. Non-issue. What if I do a totally necessary smart splitter right here? Hey, kiosk. Ah. The line was connecting, so I figured, yeah, that's good enough. It was, in fact, not good enough. Then what I can do is this. Actually, it doesn't matter. They're gonna be... Yeah. It does not matter. I was thinking I wanna split them using a smart splitter, but no, they're gonna be sending the same amount of items on both sides. Also, straight is worse than default. Love when it's like that. It's gonna be the same on both sides, just use a regular splitter, because it'll split it evenly. However, there is a bit of overclocking required. Well, you know what? Honestly, I can probably just do... No. $14.04505. And then copy paste that, and that's now producing slightly more on both sides, and there we go. Of course, I have completely blocked off my access to the piping here, but that's probably okay. If I go right there, how aligned is it? It's not going to leave enough room for that, really. Not yet. Let's see what happens. What if I just put it right there? What does that do up here? Not great things. What if I was to do that then? I mean, it looks fine from up top. I can probably just add those to the, actually, hold on. Do I... locked myself in. You know, something I could do here is not remove that pipe, because that pipe is actually critical, and no, I'm not running it through there. Delete that. Right. I don't need 2 pipes. I can just redo this. I can, instead of that, do this. So it's not actually interfering with that at all, and then use another one of the 90s. And, hey, look! Let's make that a Mark II by default. And that. 422 water per minute. Straight pipe mode when? 1.1, supposedly. It's odd having the white lines when building again. Got used to not having them. I don't mind them being there, it's just gotta get used to them again. Could be fine like that. Yeah, that should work. I'm sure it'll be a pain in the ass, but it should work. Yeah, that's good enough for me. Put it right on the seam there, so it's easier to know where it needs to go, because then it's always on the seam. I'll want to keep that down there. That will be better. Can't believe that works. I mean, I can believe it. I understand why it works. It's just so dumb. Yeah, it works fine. So I need 422, which is... Thank you, autosave. Yep. Hook that into there, hook that into there. The mod. Can't uninstall it though, because I am using it somewhere. It gets in the way, so stupid mod. Alright, so these are gonna require to be doing 212, let's say, per minute. Gotta add the overclockers. Not all of them, though. Yeah. You know, that should honestly be fine. Give me the pump. We'll still set it up here just because it'll be easier, but then, like, if I want, I can, do that. Which does not leave a long section of pipe there, I'm not gonna lie. But that's fine. Magical connection, yay, don't worry about it. I'm just gonna go connect this up again because it's not going to work without priming. And if anybody missed the bit earlier where I showed this working, that pump on the bottom is not necessary, stupidly enough. In theory, once this gets full up here of water, I can delete that pump and just have the one up here connected, and it will just work because physics, basically. Takes a minute though. There we go. That pump starts really doing stuff. And then I just yoink. And now it just works. No? Does the pump have to be horizontal for it to work? That saddens me. Fine, I'll make the pipe, the thing horizontal. There's also the chance I just disconnected it slightly too early. Pump on the bottom gets pumping, which gets water flowing up top. Yep, that is totally normal. Anyway, there's nothing down there to get the water up this pipe, and yet we're still getting the expected flow rate or so up this. Yep. Literally, these guys cannot make it up to this junction. And I deleted that pump, and yet it's still flowing just fine. Because physics, there is a pump here. It's so dumb. It's so dumb. See, I'm also doing that on the other two pipe runs, but maybe make that a Mark II pipeline? Maybe. Basically, I just need to wait for this pipeline to fill up completely before I disconnect it from the power grid, because I'm not going to leave it connected up there necessarily. I just need to prime the line so that, in theory, I can just reconnect the power to this and it'll just work once the water needs to flow. Because these are flooded, right? So they should just work. Same thing needs to be true here. It all needs to be flooded and not flowing. So it takes a minute. Saw this on Reddit, as a side note. Saw it a while back. Somebody figured out that, yeah, as long as you prime it, well, I had to figure that part out myself, but as long as you prime the pipe and it's full of water, you can just use a pump near the top and it'll just give you all of this head lift for free. Because this is adding to the gravity head lift that it gets down below. Plus the little bit from there, maybe? I don't know if the pumps add the head lift, but you're getting 50 meters from here plus that height. Even though this isn't actually having an effect on the water coming from down, well, those two, from down there. It's so dumb. Fluctuating. I mean, some of the pipes are supposedly flowing at a full 600 per minute. How much head lift do you have? About 13 meters? Or less? And then it suddenly picks up again. It should be getting more or less full at this point. Oh yeah, I can put that back where it belongs. Not you. It'd be difficult to do that. Sometimes get in where I need to be. Of course, none of the machines are full. That's expected. Yeah, it's just the sloshing in the pipes, seemingly, at this point. It's like everything's full up. It's a little bit of sloshing that you get. Water physics. One of the most complex things in this game is the goddamn water physics. You almost done? Yes. Maybe not. Again, the sloshing just... At some point, these guys will stop pumping water. It looks like that point is coming soon. I just want to be done with that, because once I know for a fact that it's good, it's good. Don't have to worry about it again. Something like that. Would force the physics to be one way. Yeah. I mean, they do at least act like diodes in that they prevent backwards flow, but only through themselves. They don't affect anything forward of them, obviously. The water physics definitely are... Like I said, it's one of the most complex parts of this game, is the fluid dynamics. I don't know, Kiosk. I don't know if they got an upgrade like the belts did, or if they're still how they used to be. I don't know how it's implemented. Yeah, you're not coming back this way. That was laggy. This one is one thing, the other one not so much. Where even does the copper go to? Some of it goes to fused quick wire, some of it goes to steamed copper sheets. What a surprise. Some of it goes to alkyd casings. God, such a mess of things to do. Uranium waste goes to 3 different things. Fertile uranium, non-fissile uranium, and plutonium pellets. Both fertile uranium and non-fissile uranium are both going to plutonium pellets. Why do you use both alts and regular recipes to make the same item? Why do you do this? This thing is so ridiculous sometimes. I need to do quartz as well. Where am I mining quartz from? That's way back there. Yeah. That's the line that I've carried over from over that a ways. It's not a lot, and it only needs 1 refinery's worth of refining. All to be used, not there. Insulated crystal oscillators. Yeah, so honestly, I'm not too worried about that. Because the reality is, right, that's up there. I could literally just slap down a single refinery somewhere over there, and there's ample water, and that's that. That's all hooked up. I should set up this. Okay, that was on me clicking too early. I assume these are all Mark 1s, right? Yes. Why? Why? I don't know why that one was out of line, but it was. Get that back on screen properly. Okay, so there's that. No, that's not what I want. I'm trying to figure out how much, you know, I could honestly just take 1585 and divide it by 2. That is not right at all. Why is that not right? Because that's just... Again, 1585 divided by 2. Being stubborn, though. 42.767. Okay. $792. Hey, look at that. It mathed out perfectly. Now the question is, do I want these to go that way or this way? I'll leave them going this way, I guess. There we go. That lagginess is now done. We've done pure copper. I send almost 300 to go to fused quick wire. I only send 54 per minute, roughly, to steamed copper sheets. Which is basically nothing. Steamed sheets. I could probably get water from right here if it doesn't want to be a pain in the ass about things. And actually, I'm going to leave a little bit more space. Not to mention, I don't need this final one. Doesn't really leave me enough room to split off. Well, I have that. Okay. That works. $138.234. Sure. How many cats? They're not even that close. They're over there and they're still noisy as hell. So you need to be downclocked to 42.3701%. Not a lot. And these are just Mark 1 because that's literally all that's required of anything, so no need to set it higher. Let me guess, resource is not deep enough. No. A creature is in the way. What creature is in the way? Am I blind or what? Like, there's nothing... There's nothing here. Damn game. It might be in the cave below, I guess. I don't know how much water is needed for this, but I can't imagine it's much. What about there? Looks good to me. Why are you rotating in not good steps? Enough. Auto 2D. Steamed copper sheets requires 54.5 water per minute, so there, done. There. Yes, that's water coming out of there. Thank you, game. There's spiciness up there? Probably. There's really not a great way of running power over to here quickly. I mean, there is a way. Sure, why not? Let's just put it up there and then I can just quickly hook it up. It's not very fast, so it's not going to get water up there too quickly. But we should start seeing the flow get up here. Eventually. At some point. I mean, it makes sense. Again, it's 50 some water per minute, 54 and a half, well, 55 water per minute, cubic meters of it per minute. Not that fast. I would expect it to be filling a little bit faster than it is, though. Hello? You should have ample head lift. Why? Okay, there we go. Yep, come on. Fill up all the way. This thing is slow. Send it, please. Fill it faster. Okay. Now I can yank that, and it should be fine. I do wonder if this, with such a low flow rate, might be a bit harder on it. But I mean, it seems to be keeping up. My god, you guys are annoying. Come on, settle out completely. To be fair, it would settle out a lot faster if I actually made it pump at full speed. I want you to go upwards. No? Okay. There we go. So again, just like with over there, I'm getting free head lift by having this pump here. That's not producing enough head lift to get the water up to this junction, but because this pipe is here and the pipe is because this pump is here and the pipe is already flooded, this provides all the head lift needed because physics. It's a dumb setup. But it works. Really shouldn't, but it does. Alright. I think that's enough for now. It's basically time for another break. That is not a lot of progress when you consider that those were all pretty much built out from blueprints. But yeah, I might genuinely have to consider taking that break from the game. I wanted to get everything done by the end of the year, but burnout is a serious risk. Avoid that. It's gone before you even know it was clicked in. Don't worry, the stream's not over yet though. It is time for a break, but I think I'm done with this save file for the night. You need to be there. Rubber's fine, of course. There's the bot saying it's time for a break. rotors. Modular frames are fine. Motors. Whoops. Apparently it... Okay. Good to know. I installed a mod that lets me double-click to move where things are in the list. However, it doesn't seem to recognize that shift-clicking is a possibility. And so it doesn't ignore shift-clicking. I feel like that's something that is very much worth reporting to the dev as like a, hey look, this isn't really an issue, but if you could make it so that it ignored shift clicking, it would actually kind of be nice. Not a necessity. It's a nice thing to have, in my opinion. Another yellow slug, huh? Another yellow slug. Thanks, lizard doggos. Twink. And just send them all over to there, because then, yep, there they go. And in no time whatsoever, they get automatically converted into power shards and sent that away. I was just looking, yes, they are all overclocked and slooped, of course. As a reminder, this setup, those are for power slugs. These are for making biomass and then biofuel. And then this monstrosity of a stack here, and these are Dimensional Depot downloaders instead of uploaders like you have in the vanilla game. It's from a mod, obviously. Remains into protein, and then protein into DNA capsules, which just gets directly sunk. And then those 4 containers right there are simply just... I don't need all 3 of the 4. But, yeah. That's for that. You know what? One last little thing, I'll just go show this off. Have I ever actually shown my starter factory off on stream? Because here it is. This is it. Why are those backstuffed? Is it perfectly efficient? Probably not. Do I care? No. But that's making like 600 concrete a minute or something. It's not terrible. It's uploading at 2160 per minute, which is nice. But, I mean, you can already see there's a miner set up there. I didn't set up a teleporter to back here, but you can see the monstrosity that I made. The silica is made over in that area back there. And then utilizing that node and 2 more back there, I make a bunch of concrete from silica and limestone. And, yeah, it's just going towards filling these containers. Still not done. And you can see each set of 1,000, it actually sends overflow off this way, which normally is just 20 per minute. It's actually voiding some of it, but I have to have that like that because otherwise it's not going to sync it. Am I supposed to have that configured? I feel like I'm supposed to have that configured. Yeah, I feel like I'm supposed to have that configured. But 960 goes over this way, gets split 4 times. So that's what, 240 going into each of these containers, and it's quickly moved around via Mark 6 belts. And then finally, 2 uploaders per set. So every 1,000 has the opportunity to upload up to 1,920. plus 3 or times 3, because there's the middle, there's the left one, there's the right one, and then there's the middle one, and then over here you might have noticed there was another one. That's an additional 120. So I'm producing uploading just shy of 6,000 a minute here, plus the 600 I think it was over there. Yeah, I don't have concrete issues anymore. Also, this doesn't exist in vanilla, and this isn't modded. This is a vanilla thing. It's just scaled up, so it doesn't quite work perfectly, but I mean, you don't look at it too closely, it's fine. Looks nice, doesn't it? No, the containers are not centered. But anyway, that's that factory. It's overkill. Do I need to be producing 3,000 concrete a minute? And uploading it almost 6,000 per minute from giant backlogs? No. But it ensures that I don't run out of concrete ever. I mean, I could, in theory, still run out of concrete, but I mean, you saw how much I had there. Each bank of 3,000 concrete per minute crafters, which is actually producing, like, well, it's not 3,000 concrete. Each bank of it is producing about 1,000. 960 gets split off to, again, 4 sets of 4 containers. Industrial containers. So it's, yeah, sure. It's kind of ridiculous. Speaking of ridiculous, where are we at now? 577, not terrible. I don't know why these spike so much. I think it's just the production rates varying and, you know, going up. They're not necessarily going up and down themselves. It's just that, like, the variations sync up more at times and less so at others. It's more spread out, and so you get those occasional spikes as they're all dumping more at the same time versus spreading it out a bit. I can type. Yeah, like I said, I think I'm going to take a break from this for the last hour of the stream again. Because I feel like it. Do I need another reason? Like I said, I'm trying to avoid burnout, but the problem is I'm already most of the way there, I think, so the best way to avoid burning myself out completely is just to not play, and I do want to have a look through my older worlds. We looked at my update 5/6 world last week, so I'm just going to skip over my update 7 world and go straight to the update 8 world, because that's the one I actually streamed on Twitch. Update 7 I only streamed briefly. So yeah, we'll check out that over the next hour or so. But for now, I'm going to take a short break, just a few minutes to stand up, stretch, and get away from the computer. While I am away, though, I am going to run some ads. It's the only time during the stream that I run ads, besides the beginning and end of the stream. Disables pre-rolls for the next hour, and ensures that the gameplay itself is completely ad-free at the small cost of having ads now while nothing is happening. I mean, you miss out, perhaps, on watching this nice Pokemon background, but, you know. Anyway, yeah. BRB. Alrighty, I am back, and just to give you an idea of how obnoxious the heating is in this house, specifically in my room with the way everything is set up, it feels... God damn it, Falcon. It feels, not that it is, but it feels a few degrees cooler than it was when I got up a couple minutes ago. Simply because the heater is no longer running. That's how obnoxious that heater is, because it just blasts hot air into my room, and it comes legitimately, it hits the ceiling and comes straight across over to where I am. It's obnoxious. But there's not much I can do, because the vent that is there doesn't stay open properly, and it's also buried in the corner at this point behind a bunch of shit. It's not buried itself, it's just behind a lot of shit, so it's obnoxious to get at, and I'm lazy. Otherwise, I would figure something out to keep it just barely open that is not likely to melt with the amount of heat being put through that vent, because it's a lot of hot but very dry air, which also makes the winters incredibly fun here. Anyway, I want to load a save, because like I said, I'm going to take a break and just transition back to early access, right at the end of the save. Finale, maybe. I did fix my stuff last year. Yeah, I haven't loaded this since Christmas Day, apparently. But we're gonna check it out. I don't have a lot of mods. A lot of them written in the log. Interesting. It's mostly power suits. Most of this stuff isn't necessary. Yeah, in fact, I think all of this isn't necessary. So that's nice, at least. And this should load, unlike my Update 6 save, which I couldn't actually load the original Update 6 save. It apparently needed a stop off in Update 7 at the very least. But the Update 7 save from my Update 5/6 playthrough loaded. So in theory, the Update 8 save should load. There was a stutter there. There we go. Why is this right here? Oh, I had a power suit. Oh, I have to unlock it, don't I? It's just gonna make traversing the world that much easier, you know? I'm not necessarily gonna save this progress. But for now, at least, how many times do I have to hit escape? That's now a Hover Pack Mark II, which... hello? Why do I not have power? There we go. Thank you. You know, since I did that, I could technically also just, do this. Yoink! Oh, it's so much slower. Crystal Oscillator. Fixmas. Hey look, a superposition oscillator! I don't actually have any of them in my main save. Where was it? Literally already on it. Wait. Much better. Let's see, those are supercomputers. And those are quantum computers, which don't exist anymore. And yes, they have the same model because the supercomputers, if you remember, used to have a different model. But they stole the quantum computer model and made it the supercomputer model. But existing saves will still have quantum computers. Yeah, this was my Update 8 playthrough that I did on stream. One of the last things I did probably was over here. Getting Phase 3 completed, because I said I would commit to doing Phase 3 in full, but not necessarily beyond that. And I stuck to my word, as you can see in the top right. That's just a Blueprint Designer Mark 1. Over here, lots of copper sheets being produced apparently on this bit, but then over here is modular frames apparently. Is it all just modular frames? Yes, that and this. Interesting. The main thing that you have to remember about my older saves as well is that I really didn't use power shards a lot. You can see, like, green, green, they're not white to indicate that they're overclocked. I don't know what that's being used for, but that's the sulfur node, is it not? It is. It's green, and it's 120 per minute on a Mark III belt? Huh? Why? Also, coal coast? Yep, there's a little bit of coal over here. Coal power. Using those two nodes and those nodes. But you can see, once again, not overclocked. Your node is powering one set. The normal and impure nodes are powering another set. Why do I have a Mark III belt hooked up to a miner that's only doing 120 per minute? That's what I want to know. Pressure sphere. Oh, is there a train line there? That would be why. I do vaguely remember. I don't know why that's there, but I do vaguely remember doing that. By the way, part of the reason why I wanted the upgraded Blade Runners is no fall damage. Pelic Rock Slug. Oh, interesting. Oh, interesting. I think I used to have a radio tower there. Not one of these towers. There's a station here. Loading up Yttrium, iron, limestone, and copper. I think that's my train because this section of track never got used. Yeah. It's kind of funny. Just a water line going this way. It's kind of funny how little I've actually set up of trains in 1.0. There's just sphere. My solution to having better landing spots. This. Revamp this at some point, obviously, because I did not have those to start. And then this is all just screws over here. Cast screws, clearly. And then this makes rotors. Are these motors, then? No, is this... Yeah, that's something different. This is all... these. Okay. And of course there are issues with throughput, because why wouldn't there be? Why wouldn't there be? That's just making screws. And then what was this early game? Reinforced plates. Back at the main base. This is just rotors? A bunch of Caterium wire. Just rotors. There's a nuke here, I don't know why. But there is a nuke in this world too, just like my update 5 world. That's also copper sheets, but my original one. Yeah, there's the plates and the rods, and then here, nice, is wire and cabling. Some limestone here, which I needed more, so I upgraded the miner and then just doubled the setup. It works, we've already looked at all that. Is there anything over this way? Yes, but it was wrapping up to there, which we'll get up to. Nice lag, computer. I quite heavily utilized the nodes in the desert in this save, didn't I? That's screws, because screw you. I gotta say it, right? What is all of this? Iron as an input, and only iron as an input. Ah, versatile framework. Wait, where does the coal come from? Over there. Way over there. Gonna love my nuts, I guess. Oh, thank you. Nothing much over by the river. More iron, limestone, encased beams, yeah. Yep. I do remember the headache that was this factory. Modular load balancer still functioning, and the counter limiter. Set to 420 a minute, as you do. That one was set to 430, I guess. Useful mods, these. That should be 420, it's not. Once again, not running at full speed. The way that I build doesn't seem to scale up very well. A lot of wasted space here. Automated wiring. And so I actually bothered to automate the tier, or the phase 1 and 2 components. That was encased beams. That's just the ramp up to Caterium over there, because that's always a thing. There's this train back here that's... well, the line's a bit jank for it. End of the line. What are you getting? Coal, quartz, copper, sulfur, and Caterium. I see a wall of belts in the background. There's some quartz-related stuff over there. This is more or less the fastest way for me to get around. If I had my modular power suit... is it modular power suit? Or is that just the Minecraft mod that I'm thinking of? Anyway, if I had my power suit, it would go a lot faster. This is probably not flowing anywhere near as fast as it needs to, if I had to guess. Well, here's the outputs. Motors and... stators. all of this to produce not that many motors per minute. And some stators per minute as well. Let's see. 10 per minute. That's more than I'm making in my 1.0 world. Yeah, of course that's for screws. Modular load balancers, though. Such a good mod. Such a good mod. The coal power again back there, but I think now let's follow the train, because honestly, I don't remember exactly where I've done. I had something down there, I do recall that. There's of course a station here. There's a station there for something. And yeah, there's a station there. Probably computers and fuel and shit. I don't think my train network ever got past this point. Because again, I abandoned the save not long into Phase 4. Oh, I'm definitely not going to make it to that train, am I? Nope, it just pulled out. There's a chance. So slow. Yeah, I remember this. This was a bit jank. I'm down the slope, but then it splits to go through the narrow gap. Because fitting two rails side by side through there was easier said than done. Yeah, then there was this computer, high-speed connector, AI limiter, which were all getting shipped off to somewhere? Or no, they were going over here because this area produced supercomputers. And you can see that produced all of that. And then there was some plastic being made back here, and then the oil was being turned into fuel because diluted fuel is way too good. And then apparently I was making turbo fuel, because yeah, why not, right? All that was off of that, and then there's more turbo fuel production over here on the back side of this. God, this setup looks ridiculous. But this setup, I believe, did not use diluted packaged fuel. This back here is all just like copper sheets, and well, more copper, apparently. There's your caterium, and the iron is back there. Ah, yes, the wall o caterium. Or rather, quick wire. Caterium wire, quick wire. Let's be real, you can refer to it either way, and people will know what you mean. Even if one way is technically the correct way. Yeah, again, you can see just how few machines have white status lights, these things. If it's white, it tells you that the machine is overclocked. If it's yellow, it means that the machines are not really doing anything. To be fair, that's because they're stuffed. But that also means that it's probably not being fully utilized, so... Did not do a lot of overclocking. Heavy oil residue... Ah, this was turbo heavy fuel. No fuel in the middle. Interesting. And then that was those in that line. And this back here. With batteries. I honestly need to set up more of these. This is interesting, though. Why is this submerged? I don't think submerging electrical cables into what clearly appears to be an ocean, I don't think that's a good idea. Could be wrong. Also, is that the one? Yes. I've still never been up on that in 1.0. I'm not doing it now, either. Ah, okay. Yeah, this is a bit jank. Technically a generator here, but for some reason this was never configured correctly, so it doesn't work. I also have a packager back here to make packaged water to craft. Oh. Why? That's unnecessary. Oh well. I don't think I used really any other part of the area back here. Never went up there for building anything either. I see purple slug. I do like using this area for electronics, for computers and such. Update 5, Update 8, 1.0. Every single time I've built something out here primarily related to those components. Why? I don't know. Because it works? None of those trains are here at the moment, so I can just do this myself. We can get to somewhere else in the world. Who wants what? Gotta mind the switches, though. Train lines are a little bit jank. Just a little, though. Not that much. The stuff we've already looked at. That train's just going to go to the right. Mining that way. This here is my work train, which is why there's a random track right here. Doesn't look like that train is in the station, so we should be good to go here. Can only go right. Well, and because of that rock, that actually comes in later anyway. I don't think I touched anything in the swamp. Because, again, the only time I've really done anything in the swamp pre-1.0 was Update 6. When I boxed it all in. So this was some level of power gen, which was eventually upgraded to turbo fuel. That's your compacted coal. You know, honestly, why am I not just, here, pause, 12. There. Nice and bright, don't need flashlight or anything. Some of it's making plastic, some of it's making rubber, but that makes the heavy oil residue. Combine that directly with compacted coal to make turbo fuel, and then the turbo fuel gets burnt. Goes a little far back there, but not that far. Yeah, this is nothing compared to what I've got in 1.0 at this point. Bonk. I'm gonna ramp up to more batteries because more batteries gooder. Right? So, basically the same setup to some degree as what I have in 1.0, just instead of making fuel with the heavy oil residue that's left over and bringing in sulfur and coal to make turbo fuel and burning that. On 1.0 I stuck with fuel for a while and then eventually upgraded it to rocket fuel, which I'm still not fully utilizing. Someday. Someday. Built right over a Mercer sphere there. Mark III belt. But I'm not mining at Mark III speeds, clearly. I can't believe that I would use Mark III stuff from when Mark II would suffice. Unless it's because that steel was easier to come by at the time than reinforced plates. By the way, speaking of steel, that's quick wire. And then this is steel stuff. Not encased beams, though. At some point I expanded this. This was the original factory, and then I expanded it to have this as well. Elevators. There's this here. Yeah, that was built to contain this guy, who I have 0 protection against, so... Yep, there's the sphere. Iron mining there. That was a very roundabout way to get this over there, wasn't it? Also, how far away is this coal? Holy crap. Wow. Asked me, this is a bit ridiculous, don't you think? Like, I get that there wasn't a lot of coal nearby, but, that is overclocked. All the way up to the red forest. Okay. I want to see what's up here. It is a summer slip, I thought so. Versus sphere. Lizard doggo! What were you doing up there? Not where you belong. Turn trip's a little bit faster, at least thanks to the belt. Was I really using all of the coal down here? No. None of these are overclocked, of course. So instead of just overclocking these and splitting off some coal to go up here, I instead brought it all the way from the red forest up there. Yeah, I've got a different mindset now in 1.0. That's for sure. More coal power, because you can never have enough coal power. I'm producing 42,000 megawatts. You know, it's not bad. I'm consuming 31,000. Which is a fair amount. This is not Minecraft. You can't double tap space to stop flying. Horrible looking corners. Go. Train's coming. Go, go, go. I don't want to hold it up. I'm going to. Actually, yeah, I'm 100% going to, because these are spaced so far apart that there's no other way about it. Good job, past me. I mean, it didn't really matter because there's so few trains on the line. Mercer Sphere over there. I've collected all the Mercer Spheres, and well, I've collected all of the Summer Sloops, period, but I've collected all the Mercer Spheres in the northern areas of the map in 1.0. Guys. Is there a cave back there? Do I know about said cave? Probably. Building around the terrain, not through it. Cool kids have underscores in their name. That's the guy who doesn't have an underscore on my screen. So the power lines just end there, seemingly. Okay, seriously though, can we just chat for a minute about the whole underscores in the name thing? Because, like, that's my username, and when I finally signed up to Blue Sky recently, I wasn't allowed to make that my username. Falcon Punch is good enough. Fair enough. But seriously, like, oh, that's... They removed that node. Huh. Fair enough. I wasn't allowed to use my username. You're not allowed to use underscores in your name on Blue Sky. Like, why? You can use hyphens, but you can't use underscores? Really? Why would you want to use anything other than X? It's the everything app after all. I'm sorry, I'm not familiar with X. Is that anything like Shitter? I'm familiar with Shitter. I don't know what this X platform is that you speak of. Yeah, that's another broken node. RIP coal power. That connects back over to there. All of this coal power is offline. Just all of it. Obelisk? Is that all that's being produced over here? Probably. I find it funny that that can feed all of that. That little puddle of water. I think at one point I had a light down here. Clearly no more. Game. Am I not utilizing... Why am I sinking ore? That's just silly. I might have built something in there, but I don't really feel like going in. No, I couldn't have built anything because there's no power. So that answers that question. There's a rail line up to here. What's this about? Oh, that's just going from there. Right. That's that station over there. I think this should be clear for a little while at least. Beautiful butterfly. Dingle, please. Your sarcasm is terrible. The slug that almost appeared to be floating for a little bit there. Geysers. I noticed that as we came around the turn. Slug's floating again over on that rock back there. Still never been in that cave in any save file. I didn't even mean to click the first time there. I just went with it. Caterpillar to potato, more like it. Exactly. I can agree with part of that statement, Dingle, but only part of it. What is here? Raw ores. And those things? Genuinely, I don't remember what's being produced here. It's part of the fun of exploring. Yeah, so fun fact, this isn't actually needed, at least in 1.0. If you just place it right, you can connect it all the way up in one go. It's silly like that. Okay, this appears to be modular engines. All modular engines? Yep. What's being produced here? Huh? Manual alumina crafting? I'm confused. There's an oil hookup that's not actually being utilized. All this is to craft motor components, clearly. Like I said. Screws. Modular load balancers and then throughput limiters. Just one compacted coal crafter here. There's a bunch over here. It's just I needed one more, but I didn't have the space, and apparently I didn't think to just overclock it. I don't know. Coming in over that pipe. Not enough room to do this corner and drop it down nicely, so send it back that way and then bring it back across and over. It works. That's heavy oil residue. Again, making turbo fuel. Water towers that are not very full. Which means no doubt, yeah. No doubt. To be fair, there's a sulfur node back that away that isn't able to be utilized anymore because it's just gone. Also back here there's more fuel to tap into, more oil. Fun fact. All that for modular engines? I don't think anything else was actually being produced there besides power. I think it's all just modular engines. Also, this power line running here so I could hoverpack my way up. Actually, it might not even be solely for that. I like the one on the fart rock. Ah, I see. I think one of the last things I was contemplating doing in this save was aluminum, and I was going to have some sort of setup here, but I never did it, clearly. Pretty sure I moved that tree. Could be wrong. Yeah, you can see, like, I made all the platforms to get out here. Guess what's down there? Bauxite. Alright. I don't know what this line is about. Yeah. There's coal right there. And then this over to this node. A desert track this Friday? I mean, the only desert track that I can think of that's worthwhile is Bahrain, and honestly, I'd prefer not to race that right now, because I'm not the biggest fan of it. So, no, I don't have any suggestions. Let's race something better. Because fuck Vegas. Also, I've never gone in here on stream, but fun fact, there's an interesting cave back here somewhere. I think it's through here? Yeah. This cave. Spoiler alerts for 1.0. To be fair, it's been over 2 months. But, Willow Springs? Yeah, okay, Willow Springs is 100% a desert track. I've been there. I would definitely consider that to be more deserty than not. But honestly, I'm not the biggest fan of that either. Hey look, a Xenobasher. Hi Lizard Doggo, how you doing? Another one up here with something. Nice placement. Is there something here on this one? Beyond the obvious things, at least. Lots of lizard doggos around the place, too. Shattered rebar. Pretty sure that's where I got my shattered rebar from. A little bit that I have. One of these has Blade Runners at them. Anyway, I'm leaving. Just an interesting cave. Caesar's Palace? No, fuck that place. Genuinely, I don't think any trains go this way. Considering that one arrow is to the right. It might just be the case. Oh yeah, fun fact, this train line, I think, actually stopped right where the world border was. Like, that's where it turned, which is why there's extra platforms here. Because you could go out here and hit the world border. But obviously that's not the case anymore. The world border is shifted out more. You can see I've never explored No Man's Land because of that in this save. Because you used to not be able to get there. This used to be outside of the world border. Used to head over like that away somewhere, so you wouldn't really get over there. It's nice that they opened that up, even if there's literally nothing but shrubbery. There's nothing over there. No summer sloops, no merchant spheres, no resource nodes, no nothing. Yeah, no shut dingle. Unfortunately, people like you and I aren't in charge. And of course, just a thing over the void, which isn't truly a void. There's tons of water down there. Yeah, you have fun with that. There's nothing hooked up there. This is all just tons of shit being belted over from different miners all around the place, and you can see, like, there's miners all the way back there too. There's one that's coming out of the pit. There's multiple from over there. One from back there. Is that the pure coal node? Probably. All going this way. Another one back there. All the impure nodes. And just a last minute one going into there. Alright, so what's being made here? It's right here. Heavy modular frames. How did I know? Because I remembered that much. Yeah, this is supposed to be... I mean, it's not really supposed to be a void, per se. It's just kind of funny that, like, technically, around here somewhere is about 0 Y level, but, you know, clearly the Y level in the world is much lower. But, like, sea level, there's just elevated sections. Or maybe this really is a valley of water. I don't think that would work, though. This world is weird when you start digging into things like that. Which is why sometimes it's better just to leave the fog on and not worry about it. Also, yes, I'm hovering over the void. It's okay, I'm wearing a hover pack with extended range and better speed. Old heavy modular frames. And yeah, that's it. This was supposed to be a continuation if I ever built over towards like the Blue Crater, but never did. There's nothing more that way. All my stuff just... You know, it was primarily out here. Some there, miner there. The train waiting for that train. Stuff there. Aluminum stuff would have been up here probably, at least initially, but I never did that. And then heavy modular frames all the way down there, and that was it. That was it. And I streamed this tail end of last year. Crack, crack, crack. Sorry. Yeah. Update 8 save. All streamed on Twitch live last year, and the VODs for it are all uploaded onto YouTube. But unceremoniously, that's just gonna be it. And again, I'm not saying that this is gonna be the case, but there's a chance that that could be the last bit of Satisfactory until at least December. if not the new year. I don't know how I'm going to handle Fixmas, but yeah, I'm feeling like a bit of a break just to give myself a bit of a break from it and try and avoid burnout because it's getting harder and harder to avoid it as time goes on. I do have a new game to play. I was going to probably play it Saturday night, but I just did not feel like streaming Saturday night, so that's why that didn't happen. So, yeah. I'm not saying that Satisfactory definitely won't happen again next week. Don't count on it on the weekend. But I don't know when it will next be shown on stream. Like I said, I want to complete the save. I want to get through Phase 5. I do not want to take forever to do it, though, but I also don't want to just burn myself out of the game completely trying to do so, which, given the last two factories I'm going to set up, nuclear and project parts, all project parts, burnout is looking extremely likely if I'm not careful. So anyway, next stream is not fucking Assetto. That's on Friday. What will be racing? I don't know. More importantly, the next actual stream is on Wednesday, and what will I be doing? Something Pokemon related. I don't know. I haven't figured it out. I'm not going to stream the Professor Oak Challenge again until next month. Because I'm just going to be doing research. I'm only going to do that once a month, like I decided a little while back, sometime summer. Rumors of Imola? Right. Yeah, you know what would be nice to do for FNR? Anyway, yeah. Pokemon, just to finish that up, Pokemon on Wednesday of some description, but not Legends. You know what would be nice to do for FNR? Something that isn't GT3s, because literally the only thing that we haven't done really recently and that isn't GT3s is the F4s. Yeah, we should do that as well, Tingle. That would be cool. But less GT3s. I get that people might want practice for EJLMS next year, but for fuck's sake, FNR should be varied. More cars. We have the cars, too. We shouldn't just run the same fucking thing. Or, if we're going to just run GT3s all the time, let's run a support series beforehand. Support, quote unquote. We've got Leos, PCRs, F3s, F4s once Max fixes them up. Dare I say, transit vans and Trabants? I'm sure, they're good enough as they are. If they're not on the server, they could quickly be thrown on. That'd be good enough. Transams and Miatas. You've got plenty of choices. And those don't need a ton of... Well, okay. The Transams might need a bit of practice, and F3s as well, perhaps. But you don't need a ton of practice. Start out with the slower car and then do the faster ones, the GT3s. Well, I assume the faster ones. If we do F3s, we might want to do GT3s first. Although I'm not sure that F3s and GT3s on the same night's the best idea, honestly, but... There's also the prototypes that we could run instead of the GT3. Can you tell that I want to run something other than GT3 because I don't really care for the GT3s in general? Yeah. Yeah, that's... Yeah, I know, I'm one of the weird ones that doesn't enjoy the GT3. Literally, the one car that we've raced this year, I think. The one car that doesn't suit me. One group of cars. GT3s. And it's the main thing that we race. Love it. Squeaky chair. Oh well, I'm not the one calling the shots. My opinion is well known at this point, so Yeah, I get that, Dingle, but still. You can't say that I'm not wrong in saying that we run GT3s too much. Because, like, it's the main thing we've been running. Like, I can literally... We run it so frequently. And I get that it's a good middle ground. I get that, you know, it helps practice for other stuff. But if I look for title... Friday Night Racing Highlights. Yeah, GT4s would probably be a better middle ground. Let's see. GT3s, F4s, GT3s, GT3s, GT3. No, that's the wrong video. GT3s, French Countryside, GT3s, Trash Car and LMPs. GT3s, okay. Back in July. Oh, EJ wasn't there that week, so we ran Miatas and something else. GT3s. GT3s, because that's when I was blinded by the light. Miatas, back early June. Miatas. I mean, there might have been GT3s in there, but, like, I'm looking at the thumbnails, and basically, since we ran them at Spa, it's primarily been GT3s. Yeah, I know, you gotta talk to EJ. But is that really worth the effort? That's the real question. Honestly, if I was going to talk to him, I'd want to talk to him about GTA related stuffs. Because I think we could still do the New Year's Bash, just not in vanilla. But I don't know if he's even willing to touch 5M at this point, so. Yeah, I'm not singing that, because while I won't get DMCA'd for singing, I'm still not going to sing it. Good song, though. Yeah, anyway, like I said, Pokemon on Wednesday, Assetto on Friday, probably new game on Saturday, if I'm feeling like it. Expect more GT3s, though, on Wednesday. It's just how it is. Anyway, I'm gonna wrap up the stream now. I've already talked about the next few streams, so how about those ads? Yeah, I'm gonna play ads on the way out. Don't want to watch them, then that's fine, just leave. You're not gonna miss anything, it's the end of the stream. So that being said, that's gonna do it for me tonight. Thank you everyone for watching, and hopefully, I'll see you next time. Later.